And get this sip of water. Sip of beer. Let's go ahead and get into the next topic, people. Now, the next topic has to deal with Trump in this essay case, not the first one. Well, I mean, he's probably dealt with more than two. Obviously, this wasn't his last one that was dealing with that Peace Star. This one is actually the one with Jean Carroll that I believe happened in a clothing and or a department store in like the mid 90s or something like that. She came out with a claim around 2020, basically, or 2018, sometime around there, essentially right when he ran for president. But this has been ongoing. This trial has actually been going for a while, so this will be very, very interesting to see. Now, let's take a look at this. Trump lawyer E. Jean Carroll, attorney, dwell over the truth of, claim against the ex-president. Now it says a lawyer for writer Jean Carroll told jurors Monday that Donald Trump followed a playbook he had for kissing and groping women without their consent before he did that to Carroll in a New York department store dressing room in the mid 1990s. She said, "You must hold him to account for what he's done." Carroll's lawyer, Roberta Kaplan, said as she delivered the closing argument to jurors in U.S. District Court in Manhattan for a civil trial where Trump is accused of battery and defaming the writer. So I want to hear what they think about this whole playbook he has. Let's be real here. I mean, not only is it bad enough to be groping women, but if you had a playbook, for it, like a way to a playbook, like a written out or like a process for kind of getting away with these type of things, that would be insane. That's not me saying that Trump actually had a playbook or anything like that. I'm just saying that that would be insane. And also, how would Carroll's case even know that, and everything like that. But let's just see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. Now it says Trump's lawyer Joseph Tacopina, in his own summation, called Carroll's case a scam, arguing that the evidence of this case shows what E. Jean Carroll has done is an affront to justice. She abused the system by bringing a false claim for money, status, and political reasons. And as you know, they're probably going to go with that because they're probably going to say, of course, why didn't she come out with this? And, let's let's say this happened in 1995. They would say, why didn't she say anything in 2000, 2005? Like, why did she wait until Trump was about to become president, to finally come out and make these statements? Is what I assume they would go with, because I assume that would be one of your main things to kind of suggest that, hey, maybe there's an ulterior motive to it, or alternative motive. She said, it says she is minimizing real rape and exploiting real pain and suffering. We cannot let her profit to the tune of millions of dollars. Now it says the trial is taking place as Trump, the leading candidate for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination, faces multiple criminal investigations. About 24 women have publicly accused Trump of, essay misconduct over the years. 24 is a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's at least 24 women. So that's something you don't want to take with a grain of salt. Obviously, the more money that you make or the more power that you have, then you may just have people coming out of the woodworks. We've heard countless times of basketball and football players who've done nothing wrong. One woman comes out, she's trying to get a cash deal. Other women may have been like, oh, well, I had some involvement with him. Maybe he didn't want to, mess with me anymore. This has been years. I'd never got anything out of the interaction that I have with this multimillionaire. Let me kind of, go back and, maybe just say something, throw some fuel on the fire, and maybe see if I can get a payout too. That happens. But at the same time, too, there are just some ugly and nasty individuals out here that need to be served justice. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this court case really plays out and what the jurors and, the judge really thinks occurred here. Now it says, but Carroll's lawsuit, which was filed when he was the president, is the first such claim to go to trial. The other two women testified during the trial about Trump, them in separate incidents years ago. When America voted for Trump, we all knew how he treated women. Now, you could possibly say that, there was the whole like, grabbing the, pee, thing and everything like that. So it wasn't, it wasn't like Trump had the best reputation when it came to women, before his presidency or going into his presidency and everything like that. So that's definitely not going to be a good look for him. All the cases that he's dealing with in New York and in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? We're in Atlanta, and everything like that is definitely not going to be a good look. But she said America voted for him anyway. Now, it says Kaplan arguing what happened to Carroll is a part of a long-standing pattern of behavior by Trump. Shows jurors a snippet of the Access Hollywood, which they were actually working really hard to try to get these tapes, I believe, in which he boasted in 2005 about touching women without their consent. That's gonna be a terrible look, because I don't know how y'all be with y'all's friends. My dudes is my dudes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how y'all be with y'all's friends, but we don't joke about things like that. I feel like for the most part, the only type of people who would joke about things like that are people who would do that. But I'm not saying just because somebody, you know what I'm saying? It could be a joke. You know what I'm saying? It could be a very, very, very bad and inappropriate joke. But you never know. You can't really throw them to the fire, for that or anything like that. But like I said, his comments are disgusting. Let's get into these comments though. He said, "I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Here's that grab him by the pee. You can do anything." He said on the tape, recorded for an appearance on that entertainment show. Now that's insane. Like the I just start kissing them. I don't wait. When you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. It doesn't sound good. It's definitely not a good look. I wouldn't say that it's, a high class like level of him saying like, what I'm saying, I just take what I want to take, but it's definitely a L statement for sure. Now, and he might be right, he's Donald Trump, multi-millionaire, comes from a, very wealthy family and everything like that. I'm sure there are women that just throw themselves at Trump. I'm sure, especially in his younger years, there was times where Trump probably could just kind of kiss a woman and she probably was like, okay, it's Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? And everything like that. But it doesn't sound good for sure. I would definitely like to say that. But we've all seen circumstances, with rappers and, social media stars and celebrities and things like that where, they have thousands of women throwing themselves at them. So, I'm not defending what he's saying. What I'm saying is that there are definitely circumstances where there are certain calibers of men that women wouldn't want. Like, oh, I just would want him to just kiss me, or to something like that, to where they would see that as, a W, I guess you could say, for them. But in general, this statement is just ugly. It's a very ugly statement. And this shows a lot about Trump and is going to be bad for the trial for sure. Now, Kaplan told jurors, what is he doing here? He's telling you in his own words, his modus operandi, his MO, he kissed them without their consent. The evidence shows overwhelming, and you guys got to think about it too. Like, we got to think about it like it sounds bad. But think about it like this. There's a difference between the guy that takes a girl out on a date. They have a good date. They go, he takes her home. They're right outside of, her door and everything like that. And he's, instead of asking, hey, can I go in for the kiss, which, normally is not. Normally, you kind of got to read the vibes. You got to read the room, You read the room and everything like that. Normally you ask for the kiss, or there's a guy who just goes for the kiss. And let's keep it a stack. Normally, I feel like women do kind of resonate more with the guy who's just going to go for the kiss. Like, not not in an ugly type of circumstance. Think about the date type of circumstance that I'm in. Why? Because it shows that the man is confident. It shows, and everything like that. And this is not me saying, hey guys, just go for the kiss. Like she'll want you more because you go for the kiss. I'm just saying we all have seen circumstances where there's the hesitant guy who doesn't seem like he knows what he's doing. He's not very confident. He doesn't feel like the girl is really messing with him like that and everything. And the girl can just smell it off of him, and is unattractive to her. And it's a fine line. You know what I'm saying? And a fine middle ground that men really have to work with this kind of thing, because it's almost like if you don't go for the kiss, then you're not that confident guy. You know what I'm saying? You're not that guy that a lot of women like. A lot of women like those traits of the guys where it's like if they want something, they'll go and get it, not in a grapey type of way. You know what I'm saying? And everything like that. And there's also the guy who's, real hesitant, and he's like, can I touch you? You know what I'm saying? And everything like that. And they normally don't like. So guys, just be real careful. I would just say protect yourself, have consent, guys. Have actual consent. Ask, is this okay? Is this not okay? Because this is 2023, and not only do you need to protect yourself, but you shouldn't be out here essaying women. You shouldn't be doing nothing like that. So guys, I'm just gonna have to say, like, yes, it may be a little ugly, it may be a little off-putting. Obviously, the girl may not be attracted to you as much, and I'm talking about in a date type of situation. Obviously, if you're in the club and you just grab a woman and kiss her, that is straight essay, and you need to go to jail for that. I don't know why you would think you could do that, but I'm talking about that type of situation. You know what I'm saying? Where it's. You're right outside of her house. Y'all had a good dinner date and everything like that. It's the difference between, feeling the vibes. Y'all's heads come together and y'all make that kiss, that beautiful kiss where y'all just both can feel and y'all have that mental understanding, or there's that mental stage. She's looking in her eyes. You're looking at her eyes. She wants you to make that kiss and everything like that. And you're like, is it okay? Like if I kiss you? And it just throws the whole vibe off. You know what I'm saying? So guys over here at NGB Businesses, we going for full consent. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to see none of my guys end up in jail. Off of something dumb. And also, guys, you don't want to make women uncomfortable. I mean, you don't want to make anybody uncomfortable, but you guys get what I'm saying. Now, in his deposition for the case, Trump told Kaplan that unfortunately or fortunately for millions of years, stars had been able to, grope women without asking for permission first. That's a terrible thing to say. That's a terrible thing to say. I mean, I guess I partially, I don't know. It's not something you would say. Like, he actually used the word fortunately describing SA, which is weird. Like, yeah, when is that fortunate? Who would say fortunately? Someone who thinks they're a star. He thinks stars like him can get away with it. It's good defense. Carroll testified earlier in the trial that the president had, in a dressing room of boarded off Goodman in Manhattan after they had a chance encounter at the store. He denies, doing that to 79-year-old Carroll and accused her of making up the story for political and financial reasons. He also said, she's not my type. That's also kind of like a kind of ugly thing to say. It's like, so if she was your type, does that make it better because she's not your type? Like, if she was your type, does that all of a sudden, if he did that action, does that justify it now? You know what I mean? I get what he's saying. Like, he's saying, this is not my type. This isn't even a woman that I would be attracted to. There's a bug. I didn't get it. But, yeah, you guys, it's just ugly. Now, Kaplan showed jurors a video of Trump's deposition taken last fall. He was asked about a photo of him, Carroll, her then husband, and Trump's then wife, Trump at an event from the 1980s. That's Marla, she said on the photo, identifying Carroll as his other ex-wife. This was really weird. This was like, in my opinion, this was on some like Joe Biden, like dementia type of move. Like, if you're married to somebody, you're going to know what they look like. You're not going to confuse them for someone. So the point that he did that, I don't know if he thought he was doing something there, if he thought he was playing some type of smart game there, but that is definitely weird. You know what I mean? That's weird. Like, I don't know anybody who would be married to somebody and not be able to know that it's them. Like, even if that person has like an identical twin, normally that person can even very easily tell the difference between the twins literally looking at them from a distance, seeing a photo. You know what I'm saying? They can tell, oh, that one's the one that's my wife. You know, like, so that's wild. He pointed to Miss Carroll, who he says is not his type, and mistook her from Mara Maples, which would be crazy because that was his wife. Had to have been his type. Now it says Carroll is exactly his type, and he repeated it twice and only changed when his lawyer pointed it out. He made up an excuse for why he made a mistake, saying it was blurry, and it's not at all blurry. Jean Carroll is a former cheerleader from Indiana, was exactly his type. So she was a cheerleader and everything. Does sound like Donald Trump's type, you know what I'm saying? Does sound like Donald Trump's type, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? But let's see. It says Trump's lawyer said people have strong opinions about Donald Trump, but he argued they should act on those feelings at a ballot box, not deciding in the merits of his case. Because obviously people are going to be looking, they're going to be like, well, I was about to vote for Donald Trump, but like, do he be on this? Is this what he be on, and everything like that? And that's a good reason to think about it. I mean, you would want your president to have a certain standard, a certain moral code, you would say. Now it says, apply the facts of the law, the rule of law, regardless of that defendant's name. They want you to hate him enough to ignore the facts, focusing on anything but the story. Now, the defense lawyer scoffed at the idea that Trump, who he called one of New York's most famous people, would attack Carroll in a department store just down the street from his home in Trump Tower and imperil his career in doing so. That would be an extremely stupid thing to do. He goes into a department store and risks it all and hopes no one hears him. That's graphic. But, yeah. He argued that Carroll never planned on filing a lawsuit until George Conway got his hooks into her. Carroll testified that after going public with her claim against Trump in a 2019 magazine article, the conservative lawyer Conway encouraged her to think seriously about suing the former president. The avowed Trump enemy Conway and his wife, former Trump White House advisor Kellyanne Conway, jointly announced that they were getting divorced in March. We were saying it didn't happen because it didn't happen. How do you prove a negative? How do you prove you didn't do it? Trump, unlike Carroll, has not appeared in person for the trial. Now it says the judge in the case has given, there's that bug, the attorney until Sunday afternoon to change his decision to not have Trump testify in his own defense, but that deadline passed without the lawyer telling the judge that Trump would take the stand on Monday. He was criminally charged last month by a Manhattan district attorney for falsifying business records related to 2016 Hutch payment to then P-star Stormy Daniels. Before election that year, we already know he was found not guilty in that, so I don't even know why they're even talking about that. It's almost like slander in that way. You get found non-guilty in a case, and every article that you pop up in, they mention a case that you were found not guilty in that puts you in a negative light. That's kind of slander in a way, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's facts because it did happen, and they did say that he was not guilty, but I mean, I feel like bringing it up is something that you would do if you want to make the person look bad. Now, it says Trump also faces multiple criminal investigations for his efforts to overturn his laws to Biden, and everything like that. We definitely know Trump thought he won the election and everything like that. So let me know what you guys think about this. Do you guys think this is kind of a thing where a president is getting attacked? They know that Donald Trump was taking power and everything like that, and somebody was kind of convincing Carroll to, kind of take that power away from Donald Trump based on an experience, and this is all kind of made up, or maybe they had a little situation and maybe it didn't go well, and everything like that, and maybe later she realized, okay, this is like a president, I should be eating off of this, maybe the bill's hitting a little bit, we're in a recession, you know what I'm saying, and everything like that. Or do you guys think Donald Trump is actually just a disgusting guy and he actually did do it, and that's why there's 24 women coming out saying very similar things about the way that he interacts with them? I personally don't know. I would really love to see the way that this case comes out. I really like to see more facts dealing with this case, and everything like that. But I would just like whoever is wrong to be held accountable, if Donald Trump was wrong and he actually did do this, then I think he should definitely, go to jail. SA is one of the worst things that you can do. And if Jean Carroll's lying, I think that she should also go to jail for trying to, put some type of case on somebody like this. It's very bad that, a lot of people can be accused of things. And when it's found that they actually didn't do it, the accuser who lied used government money, what I'm saying, or wasted a bunch of people's money, time, energy, all of that, can kind of get away scot-free after lying. What I'm saying? Kind of like Amber Heard. She hasn't really paid her stuff back to Johnny Depp. But yeah, guys, I want to know, like, I'm not necessarily saying pick a side. If you have a side, let me know it. Let me know why you think the way that you think and everything like that. This is going to be very interesting, and we're going to want to see the way this plays out. I'm going to grab my last beer, and then we can go ahead and get into the last video, guys.